CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre's Bad Blood stipulation has been confirmed, plus an absent WWE name returns. WWE are making a major change to Raw. It's all in the Cultaholic wrestling news right now. We saw this coming on the horizon. All roads lead to hell for CM Punk and Drew McIntyre.
Yes, they do. Drew's in the ring last night speaking about his new movie coming out this week, how he's kept Punk relevant, made him a bigger star than he's ever had to do. And then he turns his attentions, Tom, to Wade Barrett on the announce table. And Wade Barrett, in the midst of Drew McIntyre, beating down CM Punk last week, despite being the voice of reason and one of Drew's only friends in the world, never mind the business of professional wrestling. Wade Barrett was the one who was trying to stop Drew McIntyre whizzle-wazzling CM Punk. It looks like they're going to come to blows, but then Adam Pearce comes out, Tom.
Pearce came in with some bad news, if you don't like this particular match, of course. Adam Pearce revealing that CM Punk, whilst not at Raw, has signed off on one more match with Drew McIntyre, one that Adam Pearce is adamant that will be the end, because it will be CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, Hell in a Cell.
It's what we want to happen.
It's what we want to happen.
It's what they had to happen.
It had to happen. You can't do a pay-per-view called Bad Blood on the anniversary of the first Hell in a Cell match with a blood feud that requires a Hell in a Cell match and not have a Hell in a Cell match, can you?
Well, my God, my mind is now spinning. Imagine Wade Barrett walking down the ramp wearing some kind of red and black mask. I don't know. By God, that's got to be Wade. He rips off the toe, stands face-to-face with Drew McIntyre. Are they biological brothers? Who knows?
I'd love that. That's gotta be Wade. But yeah, reports and speculation for months has said that the Drew McIntyre CM Punk feud will culminate with a Hell in a Cell match, and that is what we're getting. I am excited.
Yeah. It's syringes, cinder blocks. There's going to be all sorts happening in this professional wrestling matchup. For sure, 100%.
Absolument. Last night's Raw emanated from the Saddle Dome in Calgary. So when Zelina Vega and Lyra Valkyria said they were going to bring themselves a mystery partner for a match against the Pure Fusion Collective, there was no surprises, but a wonderful ovation for Natalya.
Yeah, Natalya was there looking like Trish Stratus if you really squint. She had the cowboy hat on and the long coat and whatnot, making it sound like JBL on the indies at the moment, but slightly different. The Trish Stratus look, not the JBL look. But yeah, Natalya got the win for her team as well. The end is nigh.
The end is nigh. Head for the border, grab two of each animal. Yeah, put the sharpshooter on Zoe Stark and tapping her out. This is the return of Natalya. First time we've seen her since June. She was last seen fighting Izzy Dane on NXT. There's been lots of conversations about her renegotiating a deal, and apparently, reportedly, she has signed a new multi-year WWE contract, and this is basically the beginning of the next few years for Natalya.
And that's what she should be doing, teaming up with the younger whippersnappers on the roster and just showing them what's for and what to do on the wrestling, Tom. Yeah. What to do on the wrestling. Because Natalya's been there for a while. She's done some things. She puts the fun in fundamentals, Tom.
She puts the boat in boat. The best of all time. What a woman. Of course, we're in the Saddle Dome. We're in Calgary. Bret Hart, of course, was there. There was some speculation that he might not have made it. Fightful Select reported that he was under the weather, and it was a question mark over whether or not Bret would be there. But Bret took himself a couple of ibuprofen, knocked back a Lemsip, and got himself to the Saddle Dome.
Yes, he did. He's in the ring speaking about how he's proud to be a Canadian champion and all of that stuff you'd expect Bret Hart to say on a wrestling show in Canada. But then he's interrupted by someone who struck the fear of God into all of us, Tom.
In Gunter, of course. And Gunter and Bret had a short but hilarious tete-a-tete in which Gunter said that Bret was his childhood hero and only his second favourite wrestler, just behind Goldberg. We knew what you were doing, Gunter, and we love you for it. This brought out Sami Zayn to stop the disrespect of the hero Bret Hart.
Yeah, and Sami basically says to defend this honour for this man here, I'm going to challenge you for the world title. It needs to happen. Gunter versus Sami Zayn 2. And then Gunter's like, you might think you're good, but you're not quite on his level back there in terms of being a wrestling big boy.
Oh, is Gunter Irish now?
Yes,
wow,
he is.
what a development. Congratulations.
One of those Thundercats that Sheamus keeps mentioning on that every week. It always tickles me pink, that does. Anyway, Gunter turns down Sammy's offer, and then Gunter walks away, and then looks like he's going to go for Bret. He takes off the jacket.
Because Bret calls him a yellow coward.
Yeah, you yellow belly son of a gun. So then Sammy steps up to Gunter. They brawl around the outside. It looks like the world title match will be made official in the next day.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I just made that up.
Bret Hart endorsing Sami Zayn after Sami really put a shoe in on Gunter. Bret Hart holds his hand up there. A nice little turn for Bret Hart. There's a video on Triple H's Twitter of Bret coming backstage and him and Triple H hugging, going, "Hey, let's be friends. Come on. Hey, you were great. Happy with that? Good lad." It was nice to see Bret out there.
It's always nice to see Bret, isn't it?
Yeah, I like the bit where, and it was a really sweet moment that I just picked up as Bret gets into the ring, and you've got Joe and you've got Wade. And Bret comes in and goes, "Where's the hard count?" And Wade just brushes him on the arm and just goes, "It's just there." Like in such a that's a touch. It's the way we're facing Bret. Yeah. Just a thought. But that was lovely to see. It was lovely to see Bret Hart. Do we see more of Bret? Do we think, or was this just like a little tip of the hat whilst it would be probably their last time in the Saddle Dome?
I've got no idea. Tommy seems to be tied to Sami Zayn, so I guess it depends on how focal Sami Zayn is going to be or how much of a focal point Sami Zayn is going to be in the upcoming weeks and years and months.
Possibly.
And days.
We will keep an eye on. But this was quite an exciting announcement by new Raw commentator Joe Tessitore. It was revealed by him that there is a major change coming to Raw for the rest of this year.
It's finally happened, everybody. For as long as I've been doing this job, as long as Tom's been doing this job, we've all been saying in unison one thing, and that's Raw needs to be a bit shorter, and it's a bit shorter now! Yeah! Trim off the fat, get rid of the bollocks. Raw is 2 hours.
2 hour Raw!
For a little bit, then it'll go back to 3. But we'll savor these few weeks with being 2 hours.
So they find themselves in this tough situation with their current TV deal ending just short of their new Netflix deal beginning. So they've brokered this short-term deal with the USA Network. And this short-term deal will see Raw return to USA for just a little bit, but it'll be 2 hours long.
And then when the move to Netflix happens, both the Wrestling Observer and the PW torches on the internet are saying it'll go back to a 3-hour broadcast.
Now, a lot of reasons as to speculation as to why USA have said we'll have you for 2 hours instead of 3. Obviously, with 2 hours, your rating's going to go up automatically because your ratings are an average of the whole show. So if you've got one less hour to average out, especially if that third hour is one where it just completely falls off a cliff, then you're going to notice that the Raw ratings are going to improve organically that way because there's less time.
It makes sense.
I also, and this is just me just spouting off, so there's no real truth to this, but I don't know whether it's a case of, because it's this weird short-term deal between WWE and USA. Maybe USA have a few more of the cards than WWE would do, because they've gone, look, we're a major network, we will carry you for what is an orthodox short-term deal, but therefore you need to fit into what we're doing, so we want 2 hours.
And Triple H is like, oh, damn, we need to work a little less hard to put on a little less TV. Go fine, then we'll do it.
Work smart, not hard.
Yeah.
I'm so delighted. I genuinely think we will see an improvement in the quality of Raw immediately, just because there's only 2 hours to fill and not 3.
Yeah.
I think everything will just be a little bit tighter packed.
As I said earlier, since as long as I've been doing this job, which is now 10 years, we've all been saying the same thing, and it needs to go back to 2 hours.
Yeah,
it needs to.
But they'll make too much money not doing 3 again.
I guess that is the thing. Like, where does that revenue go from the extra hour of adverts?
Well, that
changes with Netflix, doesn't it? Oh.
Well, I mean, they can do what they like on Netflix, I guess. So, I mean, they might do 2 hours and go, actually, you know what? We quite like the content in 2 hours.
Oh, hopefully.
I doubt it, though.
Yeah, all the contracts are signed now, aren't they?
Yeah, signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours, to quote Stevie Wonder that time. A really special episode of Desert Island Graps on the podcast feed today. I had a lovely chat with Becca Wiley. She's only 18 years old. She's persevering with a career in the professional wrestling game, overcoming not just anxiety, but also cerebral palsy. And she's a real inspiration. And I heard her story, and I really wanted to get to know her story and her plans a little better. And there's a really lovely chat that we had waiting for you on the Cultaholic podcast feed this morning. On the YouTube channel, it is all about AEW The Challenge right now.
Yeah, you saw the picture with those two horrible, stinking, fed pill marks on Wembley Way all in, doing that pose there while wearing WWE shirts. See how they got to that point in their lives.
Yeah, why are we platforming those fed bootlickers? Lickers. Find out on AEW The Challenge. Hot Tui, spit on them things. And for the latest wrestling news at any time, you can check out Cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.